The Interparty Resistance against the new voters register has decried what it says is the EC's deceptive move on the compilation of the new register. Let me give you some more details that were put in a statement. Now, it says that in a meeting of the resistance held on Thursday, 23rd January, we took a disturbing note of the EC's declaration of April 18 as the beginning of the compilation of the new register and its subsequent publication in the state media without recourse to a planned engagement of stakeholders at a meeting scheduled for 30th January. This we consider not only an act of bad faith, but also an act of utter disrespect and disregard to the EC's own establishment and the committee of eminent advisors and civil society organizations involved in the exercise. Now, we recount for the purpose of emphasis the resistance announced at the Yempini demonstration in Kumasi last Tuesday to suspend our planned public manifestation in Accra for a week pending the engagement with the EC as a sign of good faith to the EC, respect to the EC's Committee of Eminent Advisors, and a show of immense regard to His Eminence Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, the Asantehene, who has requested for calm as they mediate the impasse. It is our considered view that the EC is taking the anger and the will of people for granted by spiting the good conscience of the resistance in the invitation of political parties to a meeting with the Committee of Eminent Advisors for further deliberations on the said matter, and yet going ahead to announce a date for the commencement of same. In view of the conduct of the EC, the resistance wishes to announce our inability to oblige with the earlier announcement of the momentary suspension of our public manifestations and further declare that we shall proceed with the series of mass actions earlier outlined. We shall in due course announce the form, venue and dates for such actions to drum home further the need to speedily drop this dangerous and wasteful thought of compiling a new register. Pause at it. We are of the opinion that if any further deliberation must happen between the EC, Committee of Eminent Advisors and IPAC, it must be done with the full involvement of the CSOs, as has been the practice at IPAC. It is signed by Comrade Bernard Mona on behalf of the Interparty Resistance against the new voters register. It's still live on News Desk. Coming up in business, Ghanaian importers and traders on high alert as coronavirus spreads. Stay with us for details. Still live on Joy News Desk. Let's now speak with Bernard Mona, who signed that statement for the Interparty Resistance against the new voters register. Mr. Mona, so in your statement, you said that you are decrying the act of bad faith expressed by the EC, and you would like to reverse that statement made by the head of the NDC, the chairman of the NDC in Kumasi. Is that correct?
Yes, that's very correct.
So what does this mean for the Interparty Resistance against the new voters register? What's next?
It means we'll resume our mass public activities that we have planned. We shall be engaging the public. We will soon even be engaging the media. We will want to tell the story as it is. We want everyone to know that the Electoral Commission has set in motion a process to bastardize our democracy, and that they will compromise the peace and stability of this nation by their intransigence. The disrespect and disregard the Electoral Commission has shown to their own eminent advisory committee, and what they are doing to the Asantehene, the chief and the overlord of the Asante Mine Council, is also evident in the manner in which they are going about things. Not long ago, the Eminent Advisory Committee set up by the Electoral Commission was the one that encouraged us to ensure that tension and calm remain. We, in the coalition and the resistance movement, decided that we were going to yield to their request so that they can find amity in this matter. What what did the Electoral Commission do? They disregarded the stance. They have called an IPAC, and if you read the particular notice for the IPAC, it is to tell us that they are going to give us a rollout of their plans for a new voters register, something we have resisted. Time without number in the history of our elections. When there is no consent on a matter, the Electoral Commission shelves the matter. It is only this Electoral Commission that wants to say that consensus is not part of the game. We want to assure you that no amount of bullets or bombs has been able to defeat the will and might of the people. We shall confront the Electoral Commission with all the legitimate rules that are permitted under our laws to ensure that we do not bastardize our nation's democracy.
Now, Mr. Mona, the EC has always been on a tight clock. They need to complete these activities by a certain
Senior, the reason for which we did the biometric and went biometric is that once our data has been captured, they are permanent. You don't need to change them. Even when you die, your biometrics doesn't change. And dead people don't also vote. So for us to have spent so much money to compile a register, and the EC want to come and change it, it will not be long. Another EC will come and want to change it. That means that after all, we shouldn't have gone biometric, therefore. We did this biometric processes in order to save our nation a lot of resources and to also ensure that the permanent features that we have will continue to remain.
For joining us, he signed that statement for the Interparty Resistance against the new voters register, and they called it bad faith, the fact that the Electoral Commission has put out a timetable for compiling the register. It's time, though, for Tech Talk, and Kobe Spike in Kuma is joining us in studio up next.